Before we get started on this film that's in theaters and also on streaming, please do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button at the bottom. Five Nights at Freddy's. Yes, another video game adaptation. All right. This movie has, I believe, 13 video games underneath its belt.
It's got a lot.
I have not played, not named one of them.
Wow.
Ever.
Okay, I've played all of them except for the latest one that came out. I forget what it's called. The one it's called like Help Wanted. I haven't played that series yet.
From a person who has played the game, my question to you, is this game scary?
Yeah, that's the biggest difference between the games and the movies. And it seems to be an essential difference. The games, I find, not all of them, but at least the most popular ones. The first one, I personally like the fourth one where there's a little kid on the bed. Those two are my two favorite. Both of those are downright terrifying, like nightmare inducing. And they don't hold back. They are really scary. Now, the whole point of the game in Five Nights, it's all jump scares, right? But most of the game, you're very literally sitting there in the dark trying to prevent Freddy from breaking into your room, wherever that is. You're trying to prevent Freddy and the other animatronics from breaking into your room by looking out the windows, shining lights, things like that. And it's very scary. This movie takes all of that and just throws in the garbage. There is nothing scary about this film. And I don't like saying that I didn't think a movie was scary, because I'm not trying to say like I don't get scared. I'm not trying to say that. I'm trying to say like the movie doesn't really attempt. Again, another interesting movie that doesn't really attempt to scare you. There are a few spooky moments, but nothing particularly scary.
So Mike is a person who is down on his luck, just got fired from his job, and he takes this job to be a security guard at Freddy
Fazbear's Pizzeria.
Yeah, Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, which is like our version of Chuck E. Cheese.
Right.
Okay. The animatronic dancing thing. Na, 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 touch my belly and my nose. All that stuff. Okay. Maybe I went to the different Chuck E. Cheese than most people did.
We'll talk after we record.
He gets a job at this place, and then there are some weird things that are happening there. I am impressed. Al, the writer, because this is co-written by the person who wrote the game, I am impressed that they made an attempt to give the character Mike depth. His brother got taken by a mysterious person, and every single night he dreams about that happening. If he goes to sleep, he can figure out what happened to his brother, gather clues each and every time. And him being a security guard at this place brings him closer. But why? That is the thing that we try to figure out by the end of the film. Why is that happening? Now, I expected that this film was gonna be like a jump scare kid thing inside the Freddy's establishment the whole freaking time. But to my surprise and enjoyment, it was more of a thing of what is this mystery behind Mike's past.
You sound like you liked the movie. Did you like it?
It was fair enough.
Oh, okay, cool. As someone who is a big fan of the games, I was really disappointed in this particular movie. Now, in the games, the story is very thin. And as a matter of fact, if you miss the story in the games, it's okay, because you kind of pick it up through context clues, right? And so, of course, they had to flesh it out. And in this movie, they took some of the lore of the game and tried to tie it back to our main character. The main villain in the video games being the Purple Man, or the Man in Purple, and he like steals kids. He's like a child molester or something that steals kids from the pizzeria. And he eventually ends up in the bunny costume later. Oh. But before he's in the bunny costume, all you see is his car. You just see his car, and you see kids get in his car and then drive off. And it's very scary, it's very mysterious, and you're not really sure what's going on. And I found that to be really disturbing in the game. In the movie, when I say every punch is pulled, they are all pulled. Because this movie, much to my surprise, is not aimed at adults. It's not aimed at preteens. This this movie is aimed at like kids, like little kids, I think. Because it's a PG-13 film, but it really feels like it's aimed at somewhere around like 11, 10 is where it's aimed at to me. And I had some young kids in my theater and they seem to really enjoy it. But a lot of the eeriness, a lot of the disturbing parts of the game are not here at all. It's not particularly good. It's also not complete trash. It just is like there. These are the most tiresome, the most tedious movies for me. The movies that just don't seem to fit in anywhere. They don't seem to be saying anything. They don't seem to be doing anything. But if I try to remove myself and put myself in the shoes of a child who maybe this is their first horror film, this might be a really good way to like dip your toe into the genre, you know. And and of course the movie is constantly pandering to the video game crowd. Right, even the guy from, slight spoilers, I guess, for a quick cameo. The guy from Game Theory is in here, where he's like, lunchtime. Yes. It's just a theory. And like, oh, okay, that's cute, you know. But again, like it's all like surface level stuff. When you start digging deeper, there is no deeper. It's very, very, very shallow.
Corey Kenshin is in this. Corey Kenshin is one of the biggest YouTubers out there, video gamers, and he got his fame from playing Five Nights at Freddy's. And as soon as he appeared on the screen, every kid, it's Corey, it's Corey. And right. I was like, yeah, of course, yeah, it's Corey.
The idea of celebrity has changed quite a bit. Celebrity isn't someone that everyone knows. It's really someone that you know, right? Because that name, Corey Kenshin, never heard the name before. At this moment right now, don't know that guy, and I'm a huge Five Nights at Freddy's fan. But like you said, when he showed up, people cheered in my audience too, and I was like, "Oh, who's this guy?" So I think that's interesting. It's aimed at a different generation, and I think they aimed the movie pretty well at little kids. Like I said, I think if you're a little kid, this is probably a really good intro to like horror or something like that. But like literally anyone else, all of humanity, the rest of humanity, this is going to be a boring, tedious film for you.
A group of people break into Freddys to try and basically get Mike fired.
Another one of our main characters sends those people in, and obviously they all die, and no one addresses this. The main character that sent them in, she's not like, where are all my friends? Where's the whole crew? They went in there and they never came out. We see her later in the film. She never responds. She never addresses the fact that her whole crew vanished as they went inside the building. No mention of it. So like I said, I think an adult would connect these two pieces, but kids might not. I think this movie thinks its main audience will identify with the little girl who is literally sitting there with crayons drawing, right? Who also, by the way, has superpowers. Like she seems to be drawing things that she never saw. She seems to know things she shouldn't know. And I'm like, how is that possible? Movie doesn't explain that. What the hell? That's not in the games. They never explain how this little girl is able to draw things that she never saw, she never witnessed. And also, I think the millisecond, the instant the little girl feels safe with our animatronics, the movie breaks. It just snaps in half. The movie breaks, right? Suddenly their presence is not scary anymore. In the games, and I hate comparing it to the game because I know it's just a completely different thing here, but in the games, if you saw the animatronics, that was your ass. So you see them, and it's the worst experience in your life just to see them. But in this movie, they're literally building like pillow forts and stuff like that with the animatronics, and the animatronics are falling over and giving a thumbs up like it's funny, and I'm like, what? So like, imagine a Chucky movie, and Chucky is smiling and building pillow forts with Andy.
I hate kids.
Like the movie breaks, right?
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
So that's why for me this movie felt very frustrating and annoying, where I'm like, how come no one's gonna acknowledge those people are missing? Why are our main villains, the animatronics, being so nice and cuddly and polite? Are you telling me this girl's psychic? Are we gonna talk about this?
Nah.
Nope.
I got it. So I gotta admit that did take me out of it a little bit with that. I do realize that them just being friends and it's like, my friends. I'm like,
it turns into Barney, like literally Barney. It also, the more you see the animatronics, right, the worse these guys look, because you know the longer they're on screen that it's just a guy in a suit, right? And you're not supposed to know that. I was expecting this movie to focus on some of the background lore. There's like this little background lore of what's called the bite of 87. This little kid sticks his head inside one of the animatronics, and the animatronics snap clothes and decapitate him in front of all his friends. I thought some of that might be in here.
Wow.
Oh my God, he killed Kitty! You bastard!
Was that the bite of 87?
In the game, there's a mystery of why the suit messed up. What, is the suit haunted? And at that point, we didn't know that it was. So like some of that stuff wasn't there. Also, the fact that the suits are haunted, when we found out that there are ghosts inside the suit, like the little girl was like eating like SpaghettiOs or something. Like it was like a real chill moment. She was like, oh yeah, there are ghosts inside the suit. The suit.
They're my friends.
Hee. Can you pass the salt or whatever? I'm like, what? Like that was like the crux. That was like the meat and potatoes of the game. That was the scariest part of the game when you figured out what was happening. But here it was just kind of like offhandedly said. And it was like, oh yeah, the bodies are in there too. But anyway, and I'm like, what?
I didn't even know what they mean by the bodies are in there too. It's like the kids' bodies are in there and they're rotting away. Are they buried inside?
Yeah.
I didn't understand that.
So in the game, I imagined in my head, in my own headcanon, that the suits stank because there's a rotting body inside the suit, right? That maybe you'd smell them before you saw them, something really scary like that. But here, they were literally laying down on the floor in a big circle and looking up at the ceiling and having fun with dead bodies in the suit. So like it didn't make sense to me. It didn't come together in a cohesive way at all.
I give it credit for giving Mike depth, but I do have to take points where they gave him depth, but they didn't really do anything with it. I don't think that I will be watching this movie again, but I'm gonna go ahead and give this film a C-.
C-, yep, that's what I'm gonna give it, a C-. I can't give it a D because I don't think it's aimed at me. So I'm trying to give this movie a little bit of grace. And I give it a C- because I think the movie is nonsensical. How does this little girl draw things she has never seen? It's not explained. Yeah. Why are our animatronics so friendly? That it defeats the purpose of the entire movie. You're not supposed to be sitting down having dinner with Michael Myers. It doesn't make sense to me. Why are they so nice? That's crazy.
That'd be the most awkward conversation you would ever have.
How come no one noticed that a group of humans, a group of adults, went inside this building and never came out? And apparently they're dead in a heap in the back, and no one said anything about this kind of thing. If the bodies are in the animatronics, no one can smell the rotting children's bodies inside the machines. And if you're an adult, or if you're someone who even thinks about the movie for a millisecond, it just dissolves into dust, right? But it's interesting to hear you be more positive on it because you hadn't played the games. So that means the movie probably did something right? But for me, they didn't do nearly enough right to entertain me. This was a major disappointment, especially since this movie has been in development hell forever. There've been rumors of this movie coming out for years. I don't know, probably a clean decade at least.
So would you recommend this for kids to see?
I would not recommend this for anyone except an adult with kids who are probably maybe between 9 and 13. After that, I think you might start thinking about the film a little bit harder. And again, the second you put an iota of thought on this film, it just turns into dust like Thanos. So like older than 13, I think you're getting dodgy.
Yeah, I recommend it in that way too. I feel that if you're like over that age, you're expecting more. But more importantly, do you recommend this film? Have you seen Five Nights at Freddy's? Please do us a favor, get in the comments and let us know what you thought. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. We really do appreciate you guys. You guys are great. Our subscriber count is going up and people are talking to us in the comments, and we enjoy that because we enjoy talking to you, all right? So if it's your first time seeing us, please hit that subscribe button right at the bottom. It's right there. Slam dunk it, slam dunk. And if you did like this rating and review for this film, please hit that thumbs up, all right? or you can hit that thumbs down, whichever you choose. It is your opinion. Just remember one thing, it is mostly wrong. See you in another movie